Hello my friends, and welcome back. In today's live programming video, we're going to be doing some more work on Satounki. Satounki is a self-hosted, temporary elevated access management service, and it is written in the Rust programming language. Although it says 62.1% Rust, all of this TypeScript and Go code, or at least a very, very high percentage of it, is actually generated from Rust. And what I want to work on today is kind of going to span from here to here, from Rust to Go to Terraform. They don't have the HCL in here. I guess the HCL falls under the other. So right now the flow is kind of like this. You have the platform provider, you use that to set up a company, and then when you have a company, you can use the Satounki provider to configure the company with different AWS accounts, GCP projects, policies, user roles, all of that sort of stuff, right? But in order to use this provider, you need the company API token. And that company API token is generated when you create the company. But right now, this token that you need, it's not returned as an output, right? So we need to modify the create call that this resource makes to the API, and we need to make the API also return the company API token that gets generated when the company gets created. So where to start? Well, let's take a look at the endpoint. View a company, create a company. Here we are. So the request body is a company post request. You require a platform token with the right permissions, and the possible responses are a 200, an OK response with the company post response, a 401 unauthorized, a 404 not found, and a 500 server error. So we want to change this. We want to change the company post response. So we have this company here. Oops. It's not used directly, so what I'm thinking is we can add an API token here as an optional string. Company API token. And why don't we go into Satounki? Let's rearrange our windows a little bit. So let's run bacon here and see if we broke anything by making that change. Looks like we broke something in database source company. So let's head on over to the database crate, company.rs, and it looks like this is on line 47 here. So this is what the company table row looks like. It has an ID, a name, a domain, and a root user. And it looks like when here we are, company create. So when we create a new company, we also create a new worker key and a new API token. So actually we need to return this worker key as well. So company worker key, second. Right, so we have the API token and the worker key as optional strings on the company type, which through this macro gets wrapped into this type, company post response. So if I follow this, it's gonna send me to this macro, and so the post response is a new type pattern that wraps around company. And this is really nice because when you're generating the client API client code in, we looked at Go the last time. Why don't we look at the TypeScript code here? When you are generating the client code, you're not leaking your internal types, right? Here we are, policy post response, policy post request. You know, you're not leaking your internal types, and I think it's better to do it this way because then you're free to change the underlying types and structs here, but your public interface is always going to remain the same. So if you change, let's say we were returning company directly and we generated this, and well, I'm at policy. Let's say we were just sending the struct type policy through to the generator, and here it just returned a policy, right? And then maybe you change the name of policy to something else. Then you have to go and update all of your client code, and it's a really big pain for people who have bitten the bullet really and took a chance on your software and decided to integrate with it. So, you know, I think it's a part of it is also about respecting the end user and not causing them undue toil. Toil? Is that a good word? Yeah. Undue toil. So we are sticking with this new type pattern. So the company post response is not going to change. The name is not going to change. It's just going to have two new optional fields, both in the generated TypeScript client and in the generated Golang client. So we were in the database, and I guess what we need to do now is no suggestions. Yeah, I don't know why IntelliJ is not the one. Maybe I should try Rust Rover on this next time. It's funny, this is probably my most ambitious Rust project to date, and it's the one that I've made with the least IntelliSense because it just has been all over the place. So we have API token. Actually, wait. We'll do worker key, API token, and this is not a failable function. And oh, right, I see. From company. So I need to put a method on C company. This is gonna be tough. To API response. Maybe I can use that. Company add user company to API response. So if we is it worker key, make this none, and API token, we'll make that none there, and then this one to API response, because here we have a connection to the database, and we can use that. We can do something with that. So we're gonna do API token. There's gonna be API token read. Do I have a read for company method? I do not. So let's try that. My neck is very stiff today. Company ID. The reason why this looks like a multi-tenant SaaS is because I initially tried to pitch it to some VCs, and I built it out like this initially, and all of the feedback was that I'm too nice and I need a cutthroat business partner. I didn't really want to do that, so I just thought I would open source it and build it in public and share it with everybody. And that is how we got here. That is how we got here, my friends. So we're gonna do read by company ID. We can bring in the DSL here. Oh my god, IntelliJ, what is wrong with you? So this is now a select statement. Execute connection. Found query result. Oh my god, how do you do a read by? It's been so long since I actually worked on the database code. I should know this. I've used Diesel in so many projects. So let's try read by alias, read by email, read by domain. Do I not have a read by ID anywhere? No. Let's try then read by, oh, it's first. It's first, all right. So we need to do something like this. I'll just yoink that for now. So we're doing API tokens, filter. Wait, was that also? No. Do I need to do a join here? I probably do. You know what would help even more if I don't need to do a join. What is wrong with me? I just need to look at the schema. Sometimes I'm a bit of a dummy. So API tokens, API tokens, DSL, company ID equals company ID, and then we get the first. Sweet. So read by company ID, and then this is going to be self.id because we are on I need to change this into a sum, not a result. Okay, yeah, I think that's the one. Okay changes from a result type to an option type. So we'll get the worker key as well. basically we want the same method. We want read by company ID, but instead of looking up on the worker keys, instead of looking up on the API token, we're looking up on the worker keys. Excellent. The name worker keys is defined multiple times. What is going on there? What did I change? Oh. No, we don't want that. IntelliJ being helpful in the wrong ways. Alright, so we got 2 errors, so we need to map t to t dot token, and here we'll also map k to k dot key. Is that right? I think that's right. Seems right. So let's do some cool stuff, right? So we can stage all of this. And so now what I'm gonna do is run just gen. And this is gonna run all of the generation code. And then format all of the stuff and all of that. And so now you can see that some stuff has changed. Okay, that's just formatting stuff. This is not the interesting stuff. Alright, I think so. This is the Go code, right? So in our generated Go code, we now have the API token, which is an optional string, a pointer to a string. We have the company get response that can now also have the API token or not. The post request, the post response, the put request, the put response. You see, it's pretty cool. All right, and then also in the Terraform provided, this is updated as well. So that is all looking pretty good. So why don't we switch over to Go now? So wait, we should have WES term issues. All right, let's take a look here. In the generated types, I would have expected to have seen this updated here as well. API token. Huh. Interesting. Why you know? Why you know, my friend? So run gen, runs gen clean, gen common patches. Right, that's because we're not yet at least generating I am legitimately confused. What has happened here? JSON platform, Terraform. Where does that come from? JSON platform, Terraform. JSON v1, JSON platform, Terraform. Why are we doing that make did? Nothing ever gets put in here. Alright, so let's clean that up. That's on line 28. That is just a red herring confusing me. So we'll run just gen. And so, yeah, the TypeScript library is only exporting stuff from JSON v1, not from JSON platform, which is where the company stuff is. So, okay, that makes sense. After that little diversion, we can finally make our way to the provider, the Terraform provider. So this is the file that just got generated by Satounki, common gen. And so all of this documentation, everything, all of the types, all of that is pulled in and generated from the Rust docs. Pretty cool. But the manual bit that we want to do is add this to our model. Well, actually to the resource. So Terraform provider writing is very, very convoluted. More convoluted, dare I say, than it needs to be. So we gotta update this manually. This is gonna be API token. This is gonna be API token. And this is gonna be optional true. And I think this is also computed. Yeah, so actually I don't think we want this, we want computed, because it's a computed value. Computed on the back end, just as is the case for the worker key. Let's see. It's always such a wild ride coming back to Go after writing Rust for so long. Honestly, it feels like writing Python again. Like, the level of it might as well not even have a type system, to be honest. But it's okay, it gets stuff done. So let me just... Also, the docs are not very good. Like, Go docs. Whenever, so I just tried to see, how do you use state for unknown? The culture, I think, of writing Go modules, it doesn't have the same attention to care as Rust creates. So now, I've gotta try and Google this and understand exactly what is going on. Here we go. Why doesn't that come up in the IDE? I don't know. Use state for unknown returns a plan modifier that copies a known prior state value into the planned value. Use this when it is known that an unconfigured value will remain the same after a resource update. To prevent Terraform errors, the framework automatically sets unconfigured and computed attributes to an unknown value known after apply on update. That is the one that we want. So this is computed, this is worker key, and now we just need to go into the model. So another thing that is a bit foot gunny is that it doesn't tell you when you're missing things. You know what I mean? So we'll go cd terraform provider Satounki platform into go mod tidy, is it? Because I want to get the new news. Company resource data, cool. Company post request. And that is vended, that's why. Oh my god, the headache, the absolute headache of Go modules. Alright, let's see now. There we go. We have the updated one. We just had to kill the Go mod vendor directory. So now you see that we're returning a company post request, right? But why is it not erroring? Because we don't have all of the things. And so this is why I say using Go feels like using Python or Node.js or any one of those dangerously unsafe languages when you come back from Rust. I expect the compiler to be my friend and help me now. And Rust's compiler is the only compiler that behaves like that, so sad times, sad times. So D API token value string pointer, and eventually I would like to automate this as well, maybe generate this as well. All in good time, all in good time. Alright, and then we'll do d dot API token equals types dot string pointer value. And you see what I mean with, I think I made a comment in the last video about how the Terraform provider framework, plugin framework, whatever, it builds its own type system on top of the Go type system. And neither of them are particularly robust, at least in the sense of the word of, you know, of somebody coming from the Rust ecosystem and the Rust compiler. Our API token. The D is coming from the data resource. Okay, hang on. I kind of think, yes, like this is really weak. So you can have types, but you can't have like a string pointer type. So again, we're throwing away a little bit of the safety, and we're just saying, hey, whatever is at this value, even if there's nothing there, trust me, bro, it's a string. It's not a null. Oh my god, string value. There we go. And the same for the worker key. Worker key. And then we can add this to the responses as well. Oof. That's a lot of Go. That is more Go than I care for. Alright. So I think we're looking pretty good now. So let's just TF. Just TF runs the generator. It rebuilds the Terraform providers, does all of that stuff, renders the documentation. So I think we're good now. And let's see. How can we do this? Oh, before I do that, I need to mark one of them as a sensitive value. I need to mark both of them actually as a sensitive value. I think, is it sensitive true? Yeah. sensitive true on both of those. Let's run just tf again. And I can get up the just file here. So we run just gen, just rebuild providers, and then just init providers. So that is now done. We're gonna remove the dev database. We can update these. I think we're good. Okay, then we go into Terraform platform. Do we go into Terraform platform for this? Let's see. Yes, we do. So, okay, let's run just start. And let's, oh, I don't want to cancel, I want to stop the, god damn it. Pending. F9 is stop, okay. Stop that one. The API is compiling after all the changes we made. And you know what, let's just make, oh, why did that not work? Is it because I'm running something on that port? Yeah, interesting. Anyway, it's working, I'm happy. So we have the API running. Now we should be able to go into here and do a Terraform plan. Excellent. And then you can see API token is a sensitive value, worker key is a sensitive value. It will also be known after apply. I guess you can't have both. You can't have sensitive known after apply. Okay. Let's hit apply. Please work. Yes, it worked. So Terraform, is it Terraform output? And then I should be able to, it's been a while. API token. Oh, I don't have outputs. Of course, I didn't define any outputs. So let's look in the Terraform TF state. And this is a really good reminder that you should encrypt your you should definitely encrypt your Terraform state files, because everything is just there in plain text. So yeah, these are the keys that got generated for us. Excellent. Oof, I deserve a drink for that. So that worked. That was pretty cool. Now, so you know what I would actually like to do? I would like to do this, slightly differently. Let's exit out of that. Let's cancel that for now. I would like to create just like a single Terraform project that uses both of these. It'd be really nice to just have it all in one place and in one state file. So let's call this consolidated. We will take our Terraform code from here and put it into a new file, main.tf. Then we'll get our company code. So we'll add another required provider. And this time we can do something a little bit cool, I hope. So we can do Satounki API token, which does not have any docs yet. Never mind. Oh, we haven't initialized, so hopefully that will come through when we initialize. So let's remove the dev DB again. Dev DB. Because like I've been doing all this with the dev data, and it puts a bunch of stuff into place, like hard-coded API keys that I can remember, mainly Carly Rae Jepsen related stuff. If you haven't seen my GitHub profile photo yet, you should probably go and check that out. But yeah, it's important to get the onboarding flow right, and I think it's really important to be able to have a single main.tf that you can share with people that they can take away, and they're like, oh, okay, this is how it works. All right, so let's get the API up and running. API is running on the side. We're gonna go into CD Satounki, CD Terraform consolidated, and we're gonna do a Terraform init. Cool. Then we're gonna do a Terraform plan. And let's see what came up in the plan. In the plan, we're gonna create a company. Okay, let's try that. Terraform apply. We're gonna generate the company. Yes, that worked. So now, let's try and create a resource that comes off of this provider. So we go to company, and well, why don't we just copy everything, and then we can make sure that nothing is broken. Then we can make sure that nothing is broken. Yeah, let's see how this goes. Terraform plan. Ooh, looking good. But so okay, so we don't have Samir's account because Samir comes from the dev data, right? We insert Samir here. So I'm gonna remove Samir. Where are you, my friend? Samir. Oh, okay, I think that's the only one. Cool. Wait. Cool. So let's Terraform plan that again. And then we have 8 to add. So we've got roles for my user, for GZ. We have user aliases. So the aliases are important because AWS accounts, like I've had, like when I was a consultant, I had people give me accounts that were just first name, space, last name, you know, and it's not like GCP accounts where everything is tied to an email, or if you're using single sign-on for Cloudflare, everything is an email, you know? So a little bit of legacy to deal with there. This all looks good. Let's Terraform apply. And remember, this is going to be making requests using the computed value here, the computed sensitive value. And it worked! Oh, I'm so happy that worked. Damn, this is a much nicer onboarding process. I like that a lot. So we're going to RMRF, company RMRF, platform, and let's move everything from consolidated into the root. Then we can rmdir, ooh, directory not empty. Maybe it has hidden. Yeah, that stuff can go. Actually, let's move the lock file. Move consolidated.terraform.lock, and might as well move the deps as well. Ah. Alright, that can go. We can figure it out. Afterwards, we'll just do Terraform init again. And then do Terraform plan, and everything is up to date. Sweet. So let's clear that, and we probably need to make some changes here. So this is now going to be init provider. God damn it, IntelliJ. Right, init provider. providers. Rebuild providers is okay. Init. Oh, let's call it init Terraform. Init Terraform. So we're gonna cd Terraform and rmrf terraform.lock.hcl ampersand. Why am I doing all of this when I can just copy and paste and remove this? Sometimes I am not very clever. And then we can run init. Cool. Damn, yeah, I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. It is all coming together. This needs to update. Reload from disk. We got the TF state backup. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. So the reason why it's okay, you may have noticed, like, hey, Jeezy, you got this API token that is being computed, but why do you have this hard-coded emotion API token for the platform? Why is the platform token still hard-coded? Well, my friends, if we take a look at the Nix service in the, oh my god, IntelliJ, you're killing me. Alright, I'm gonna look at this in Lunavim because it handles the Nix files way better. Here we go. So, let's do it like this. In the service credentials file, you can pass your own Satounki platform API token, right? So this is when you're running the service. So if we head over to the main.rs file of the service, here we go. So if we don't already have a write token, the first time we boot up the service, we're gonna say, okay, we don't have a token. We need a token before we can go on. So let's see if the user has provided us one in the settings, right? Do I have a Satounki platform API token? And if I do, if I have that environment variable, I'm going to go and create the token from env, right? So if the deploying person has set up this in the credentials file, then it's legit. Otherwise, we'll create a random token, and that will be printed out on the first run only. Though it might make sense maybe to write this locally somewhere as well. I don't know, maybe in run secrets. I don't know. We can cross that bridge when we get to it. But anyway, that is the reason why this is okay or legit to be hard coded in the user setup journey. I'm very happy with this. I feel like we got some really good work done here. I think the onboarding is coming along really well. Let's just see if there's anything that I have to update now in the README, because I had a list of things of tasks that I wanted to do, and I asked people for help with. I don't think anyone is excited is as excited about this as I am just yet. But you know, it was the same when I started Komorebi. Like I was playing around, I was learning the Win32 API, I was building a window manager, and nobody really cared about it at the start. They're like, oh, it's going to fizzle out. But I stuck to it, and now we have how many stars do we have? Let's go and take a look quick. 5.5k stars. Pretty awesome. How many downloads? 43k downloads. And actually, wait, so you may not know this, there was one tiling window manager attempt before Komorebi. It was called Yatta, and very, very similar, but I made some bad data modeling choices, and it's all in the issues in the pull request somewhere. And I was like, you know what? I've coded myself into a corner. I can see that. I'm just gonna go and rewrite this from scratch. It wasn't that much work, right? It was like 44 commits. 44 commits and 100% Rust. But yeah, like I went back, I created Komorebi not from scratch. I learned a lot. I was able to reuse a lot of code, but I made better data structure and data modeling choices, and that's what really helped it to stand the test of time, get all of those stars, all of those downloads, all of those sponsors, all those subscribers, all those people in the chat. It's yeah, it's very cool. You may be surprised to hear this, I very, very often feel imposter syndrome when it comes to software development, because I got into this quite late. I got into this in my late 20s. I did not write a line of code until I was 27 or 28. That was when I did my first Hello World. And I've been feeling it a lot again recently, since I was laid off, and now I have to go through these interview processes with these coding challenges that are very, hacker-ranky and leak codey and not at all relevant to the daily work of a software developer or a software engineer, or in my case in particular, a platform engineer or a DevOps engineer or an SRE. And so when I'm faced with that prospect, it's like, oh damn, I need to go and have somebody look over my shoulder virtually these days for half an hour and judge me on this lead code question or this HackerRank question that I don't even understand. That's my biggest problem. I don't even understand what the questions are asking because they're that far removed from what software engineering actually is. So yeah, I feel a lot of imposter syndrome, but then I look at the stuff that I'm making, and the stuff that I'm sharing, and yeah, there is a bit of a reprieve. There is a bit of a reprieve. All right, so I've done this. The next flake is done. We can now do services.satounki.enable for anybody who pulls in the flake. That is great. And that's documented as well, so that's very nice. It would be nice, actually, maybe we can replace this one. Get the Satounki service published in Nix packages in 2024. Maybe in 2405. I'm just gonna put that out there. Hopefully. Support for registering custom roles. I have a couple of ideas about how to do this. I'm not sure I want to go too deep into this. I think I would rather expand the number of integrations first. Yeah, okay, that was all that we needed to do there. And so, what is one more thing that I can show before we start to wrap up. Ooh, yeah, okay, that's okay. So let me run just TF once to make sure that everything is working. Excellent, it is working. I guess the other thing I wanted to show was on my own Nix configuration. So I have Satounki. So when I was saying that, hey, you can now do services.satounki.enable, this is kind of what it looks like, right? So you would pull in the flake, you would add the overlay, and add the module. And then when you get into your system configuration, you'll have services.satounki. Then you can enable the service, you can enable the worker as well if you want. You set a couple of settings, so this is where it would be served. I'm using Cloudflare tunnels to get this working. And then the company domain that the employees or the team have an email address associated to, the port you want to run it on. And then, the files. So I'm sourcing these files through, what is it called? It's not Agenix. It's, what's the other one? I wrote a whole article about this. It's not Agenix, it's SOPs, Nix SOPs. Pulling those in, it's all good. And it runs. It's awesome. It runs. I'm very happy with it. And I guess one of the next steps is going to be, like I say here, setting up a collaborative development staging environment for contributors. So that's going to be, I think, the next step. And this is going to make it a lot easier. It will be running on NixOS. Now, let's craft that commit message. Okay. Let's bring this up top. Get CZ. Beat. API. Return API token and worker key for company. This commit ensures that the generated API token and worker key for a new company is returned from the host endpoint. Which enables the user to reference the API key from API token from the Terraform output of the company and use it as an input to the Satounki Terraform provider. No breaking changes, no open issues. I should really start doing issues. Alright, let's just fix the line length. Return API token and worker key for a new company, let's say. For new company. Sweet. Let's push that. And of course, SCI is super duper fast. As we saw last time, 2 minutes and roughly 30 to 40 seconds to build the entire cargo workspace and both of the Terraform providers. That's crazy. Big shout out to Determinate Systems for the excellent Nix Magic. Is it the Nix Magic Cache or the Magic Nix Cache? For the Magic Nix Cache. Thank you very, very much. and to Xiaofeng Li, who wrote Attic, which it is based on. Alright, so while that is building away, why don't we wrap this on up? If you enjoyed this video, please do make sure to leave a like, leave a comment. Why don't you even go and share it somewhere if you think that it will be useful for others who are interested in learning how to organize big projects, how you can use Go and Rust together in creative ways, how you can generate large parts of a Terraform provider using Rust, all of that stuff. Feel free to share. I need to set up GitHub sponsors on this, but if you would like to sponsor work on Satounki, especially if you would like to be a corporate sponsor, by the time this video goes live, there will be a sponsor button here. But just in case there isn't, you can go to my profile and click on sponsoring me. It'll bring you over here, and the majority of the sponsors I have right now are for Komorebi, my tiling window manager, but I would also greatly appreciate especially corporate sponsorship for Satounki, as that is the main target end user. So yeah, I mean, if you're an individual, $1 a month, appreciate it always so much. If you are a corporate sponsor, it'd be good if you reached a little bit deeper. You would also get your name in lights on the repo, and who doesn't love being a cool corporate sponsor of a cool open source product, you know? But if you are not in a position to sponsor as an individual, the very next best thing that you can do is head on over. Actually, you're probably watching this video on YouTube right now, so just go ahead and hit subscribe if you are not already. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and it's just around the corner from the looks of it. We might even be at 1,000 subscribers by the time this video goes live. But even if we are, do go ahead and subscribe. I love this community. It means a great deal to me. And I can't believe what we've built over the course of the year. It brings me so much joy and so much happiness. You may have noticed that there are a lot of ads playing on all my videos right now. All of the tutorials, the Nix tutorials, the Komorebi live programming, just all of it, everything is getting hammered with ads right now. Hopefully once we get past 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, I'll start getting a cut of that ad revenue, and that's going to go a long way to supporting the development of both Komorebi and Satounki. Alright, my friends. I hope that whatever you will do today, you have a great day. Free Palestine, and I'll see you all back here next time.